There we go. Now we're live.
Live.
Yay! Woo! This is the Snark Week, Snark Attack. What the hell did I write down there? Snarkrk Attack Week. Damn, I must be drunk. This is Dylan Lang. I'm Dylan Lang. I am a member of the Snark Alex, and with me as first time, kind of, is Kelly. Hey, Kelly, how's it going?
Wow, I don't know about first time, but hi, everybody. First time tonight, I'm on with Dylan. I'm Kelly Tool at KELLYTHUL on Twitter.
Well, I have to give props to Kelly because about 2 years ago, it was his epiphany that came up with the Snarkweek, Snark Attack, Snarkweek, whatever the hell I'm calling it now, where Sci-Fi doing the week of shark movies leading up to Sharknado. He said, hey, we got all these shows. Why don't we do an after show? So we're doing the after shows now, but because our numbers have dwindled a little bit, we need to spice things up a little bit. So we kicked off with a few ideas, and this is the kickoff show for the Snark Week 2017. Now, if they do it again next year, which they probably will, we'll do a kickoff Snark Week 2018, and Kelly now hosts that one as well. So I figured it'd be a fun little thing to do. We'll go over the schedule for what's going to be going on this week in Snark Week, and then we'll have our little review of it. It was nice getting back into things, but the only problem was I hate this 8 o'clock and 7 o'clock time for you. How does that work? Is that kind of crappy for you, Kel?
Yeah, a little bit. So because it kind of had to kind of adjust the Sunday a little bit to make sure that I got everything wrapped up, so that I go out, because I'm more used to the 8 o'clock our time, 9 o'clock your time start. So I don't know if the rest of them go back to a more, or are they all 7 o'clock this week?
They're all 7 o'clock this week.
Woo. Okay, that'll take some practice there. Yeah, but the other what you forgot to mention too is by doing this now, by having the kickoff show hosted by you and I, we get to make all the rules for the rest of the day. So like Mike has to do Squat Cobbler and address. That's a rule because we said it here tonight. I'm not going to do anything with Mel because she'd kill me. But I think we could make any other rules we want to. Shows do because we're the kickoff show and we set the rules. So.
Exactly. You know what? I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think it seems perfect. Well, if you're okay and I'm okay, sounds pretty good to me.
So we got here. Just retweets and likes. That's good. What is Snark Week again, real quick? Our group, the Snark Alex, we've been around. God, it's probably been 7 years now, something like that. We've been around it for a really hell of a long time, and we all started getting together because we used to like to tweet and snark about the sci-fi movies that they used to do like every Saturday at 9 o'clock, which was great. But then sci-fi got all uppity and said, you know what, we're going to do regular TV shows now. We're going to push these off to the side, except for Sharknado, which became a huge pop culture phenomenon, and now it's on the 5th one, and now it looks like it isn't going anywhere. It looks like they're going to be going back in time, because I saw the preview for it. I was like, okay, it's been around forever. I was like, okay, that's an added little wrinkle they're doing. But so we started doing that, and so now we've had to condense things down to 1 week now, and then I think they probably do something around Halloween also. Do they still do that? Did they do that last year?
I thought they did have a series of a few during Halloween. This is their big week, though.
So we go out there, so it's kind of hard getting into the snarking, but I think we did pretty good. We had, let's see, I saw MJ, I saw John McGivna, I saw Lisa Marie Bowman. Of course, you and I, Dawn was on kid duty because 8 o'clock our time is kid bath and bedtime, so she said she'd take care of that because I'm doing this. And Tony was on there, and Laura. We got a good crew out there, and we had some pretty good ones.
Yeah, it's been a while, and it's really fun to get back and do that, because there was a lot of the regular crew back. Mel was back in full action too. We had two Mels going. We had Minnesota Mel and Texas Mel both going, which is awesome from there. So it was great to see her online too. So yeah, but the puns came easily tonight. It had been pent up for a while, but these movies lend themselves so well to these things where you try and do it. I watch Preacher and Game of Thrones and stuff like that. They just don't kind of do the same for doing puns like these movies do.
And you know what? I must bow down to you because you had one of, I think, the best puns of the night ever I've ever seen, when the reveal of the fifth head was the tail, and you said, well, there's the tail of the fifth head.
I like that one a lot, but my favorite was "Quit Your Blubbering." I just really, that made me smile. I was pleased with that one. So this is the challenge I run into now, Dylan, is that we cut the cord, so we're off of all kind of cable now, so it's all Wi-Fi based, and we're using Sling, and no complaints. It's been great to do it. But what I'm finding out is that when I'm watching something on Sling, I'm running about 30 seconds behind the rest of the world. And so I'm seeing it, and so I kind of usually I use TweetDeck to kind of keep track of stuff during the live tweet, and so I just try and keep myself a little deeper in the timeline to stay in sync. But that's bad when you want to kind of jump in with that first pun on something like that, because I'm at a disadvantage now for 30 seconds.
Yeah, but you know what? It honestly, it doesn't really. To me, it doesn't really. It seems like you were on target when I was reading them, because it's kind of hard when you're also tweeting at the same time. You can't do a lot of reading, but some come over because I don't use TweetDeck. I just use my straight up Twitter, and I find myself, I'm a slower typer, I guess, on the phone. So a joke that I came up with, by the time it gets out onto Twitter, it's like gone. So it's like but yours, you seem to be right on target. So it's one of those, I don't know, it was just one of those weird quirks of the magic of Twitter, I suppose.
Yep. But it's fun. And then there were some other kind of new folks that seem to be pretty fun out there too, that hopefully we stay connected to the rest of this week. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. So before we get into this, let's talk about the rest of the week real quick. So because this is our Snark Week, they're doing shows every day except for Tuesday and Friday. Tuesday is Face Off, so they're gonna run anything on Face Off, and Friday is their big TV block that they do 3 hours of TV shows. So, but the rest of the week is fair game. So tomorrow is Mississippi River Sharks. They showed a quick preview of that at the end of this movie. It looks like it's going to be your typical riverboat, things going down Mississippi River, little sharks jumping out and attacking people. So we'll see. That's going to be hosted after that by my show, Dylan Knows. I may or may not have a guest depending on who's tweeting tomorrow. And I might say, hey, you want to come on and do the show with me? Or I'll just do a quick one where I just spew what my review is and then take off in like 15 minutes. The big one, I think everybody was talking about this one when they were showing the ads for Snark Week, is Wednesday with Trailer Park Sharks. That might be the gem of the week. Do you agree with that, Kel, you think?
It looks promising. It looks very promising. So it looks Piranaconda-esque in its opportunity. So yeah, I think all of these are good, but yeah, I think the whole Mississippi, we've had similar, but I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, but I'm excited about it. Basically all the ones that are on there, all of them sound pretty fun.
And you're going to be co-hosting that one with Mel, doing your nurture and support, which is always great. When Mel gets into something, it's just amazing when she goes off on it. Thursday is the return of the snooze. Tony Solo and I will be doing Toxic Shark, which when I read the description of it, it's like it's a shark attack, like at a singles mixer type of thing. So there's going to be a bunch of singles trying to hit off each other, and it spews acidic toxic waste or something. So it's going to shoot waste at people to kill them. So that might be fun.
That'll be beautiful. Beautiful.
And then Saturday, you and Mr. Belinsky and your squad cobbler will be handling Empire of the Sharks, which is, I guess, can be somewhat, I guess, maybe kind of a sequel to last year's, what was that, World of the Sharks or something like that, where it's like the same premise. The oceans have risen and there's only small pockets of land and the sharks have taken over. So that looks interesting too.
Yeah.
And of course, and that's going to be you guys doing Squad Cobbler. And then Sharknado 5 is Sharknado 5. We know what we're going to get. And right now, we don't really have a plan for an after show, but I'm sure we'll think of something. We got a week, right?
Yeah, something will make its way out by there. And if not, just enjoy a casual evening of Sharknado 5 viewing.
Absolutely. And again, it's what it comes on when I'm on vacation again. So I'll be down in North Carolina. So I'm going to try to catch it. But we're going to be with Dawn's family, and we just traveled 5 to 8 hours, and it's going to be a long. We'll see. But that's our schedule. So keep watching. We're going to have something every day except for Tuesday and Friday, and should be a blast. So Kelly, let's talk about five-headed shark attack. Your first few quick takes on it.
So standard fare from Asylum. I mean, it had when you get an Asylum movie, there's gonna be a beach, and there's gonna be attractive people on the beach, and they took care of that a couple times throughout the movie. They always find a way to fit that in. Typically, that's pretty good. But overall, I thought it was a pretty fun story. Having kind of the you think it's over, but it can't be over because you got 20 minutes left, so you're trying to figure out what was going on was kind of nice. So what I thought was interesting, and I'm assuming this was 100% intentional, was this movie was called Five-Headed Shark Attack, and for the first 50 minutes of the movie, all anyone was seeing was a four-headed shark, and there are tweets going out with screenshots counting the heads, and there's Mel's out there going, "Where's my fifth head?" And there's people very angry. The anger began to increase as we got deeper in the movie because we're all going like, "This looks like a four-headed shark, not a five-headed shark." And then they kind of, I think they had a little bit of fun with us, and the fifth head did eventually make its appearance, which I've got some questions for you at some point for us to go through, because I've got biological questions for you on how this all works, because I don't understand at all.
And the funny thing is, and then he didn't really do anything, You thought with the fifth head on the tail, maybe whip that thing around a little bit, maybe jump backwards. I don't know.
Yeah. It was just in a bad mood, which I guess, if you're the asshead, if that's your job, you're probably not a happy guy. And all he did was he was angry. And Lisa Marie Bowman mentioned that a few times. Like, he just seems mad all the time. But I guess
it's like being the middle of the human centipede. I guess that's one place you don't want to be at, I suppose. You get it both coming and going.
No win there. There's really no good place to put a human centipede, but it does get progressively worse. That's for sure. And the middle one's a bad spot.
Yeah, that was the first thing I was going to gleam on too, and I think, and as you said, everybody hits it. It basically was a four-headed shark attack movie with the occasional fifth head making an appearance and grabbing a little bit of food here and there at the end. But for the most part, it's the four heads. It's like, come on, man, maybe have one inside one of the heads, and have it come out. That might have been cool too. And yeah, we got our scientists, instead of wearing a tank top, she was in a bikini, which I found really funny. Was, I guess, I'm a marine biologist, so I can wear a bikini out because I go on the boat all the time.
Yeah, and so I thought the actress did a very nice job, for the most part, with the exception of she was a mouth breather. There was like big sections at the whole second half when she's on the boat where she's just standing there with her jaw wide open. I think it was her shocked look, but I didn't know if she had asthma. I didn't know what was going on there, but yeah, it was she eschewed the tank top and went with just the bikini top for a big chunk of it. Now, the bandana, was not a fan of the bandana early on. I think T. Scott Brave was like, "What is she, a member of the Crips or what?" He was asking some questions, which are fair, but I didn't think I wanted her to lose the bandana. I thought it didn't work. Yeah. No, wasn't a good look. She did better. Would you? So who of all the? So what did you think of the movie, Dylan?
Well, it was entertaining, I suppose. I mean, I think it was more along the lines of, it's the first one we've done, snarking in a really, really long time. So you sort of get that, awesome, this is great, this is going to be cool. And it kind of happened last year where we got the first one and everyone was so excited we hadn't done it for a while. And then as the week progressed, it was like, you know what? We're getting less people watching and they're not coming on as much. And I'm hoping that isn't the case this time. But today, it seemed a little bit like old times, which was great. The movie in general, I guess they've never really focused on Puerto Rico, I guess, before, or actually physically mentioned that it takes place in a Puerto Rico type of zone. So that was kind of interesting on that end. And it just... I don't know. It was exactly, you said exactly. It's an asylum movie. You know exactly what you're going to get with it. The chopper was, when we heard the chopper, we knew, all right, we knew exactly what's going to happen. And sure enough, quick, 5 seconds later, it's like boom, it was done. And I forget who it was. Like, is that the fastest that the chopper has ever been killed in a sci-fi movie? That might have been John McGevna. I think he tweeted that, and it was like, yeah, is that the fastest? And you had to think about it. I was like, well, yeah, the helicopter's flying. All of a sudden, it jumps out and attacks it. It was like, okay, we're back.
Yeah, it got killed Gerald Webb fast. It was like boom, it was gone.
But yeah, let's see. Does anything else? Let's see. You basically have everything that you expect from like a shark movie. You have the creepy guy that wants to make money off of it. You have the police officers like, no, we must keep the beaches open, even though 7 to 10 people have all been died in horrible, mangled ways, and we still got to keep it open. And then you have the Quint character in Red, who it just seemed like odd. And the scene that I found the most odd with him of all of them was when the other marine biologist chick and the guy and the aquarium guy were asking, how'd you get that name Red? And it just seemed like maybe we should do some backstory on this guy. So let's just use the same story he told not too long ago about his friend getting killed because they were doing sail fishing or whatever, and just change it so that he was chopping up the shark and was covered in blood, and then he got on the ship and said, hey, Red, what's up? And that was in the story, and they're like, wow, that's a interesting story, Red. Like, they didn't believe him, and then it didn't go anywhere.
No, and yeah, and you know that he had to be named that because they were going to tell this. The story's going to be part of the character. I was like, it's okay, But yeah, he was a different. I mean, he was kind of likable. I mean, overall, pretty happy-go-lucky, funny, and all that kind of stuff. But this was an interesting one. Of all the characters that were in the mix here, do you have a favorite or a least favorite?
You know what? Usually you can grab someone out of that and pick someone and say, I kind of like that guy. Actually, I really didn't. Not this time. I mean, I didn't hate anybody, but there was nobody that I jumped up and said, yes, it's a great character. He's doing a great job. Not even Red. I mean, he, as you said, he seemed happy-go-lucky, but at the same time, he was channeling Quint for the most part. A younger Quint, obviously, who had an affair with the scientist, with Brody in this case. It'd be a Quint having an affair with Brody.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
But I didn't really because the one whiny marine biologist who kept talking about losing her best friend, that got on my nerves, and the guy who was macking on her, trying to hook up with her, obviously, I felt bad too, you did feel bad, but at the same time you're trying to get with her, that. And then the main marine biologist chick was, as you said, a mouth breather, like like that. And the douchey aquarium guy was douchey. And then the Puerto Rican police officers were police officers, and we got to keep the beaches open. And then all of a sudden, maybe we should lock it down. And you're like, okay, yeah, you're doing something now, but no, you've already let a bunch of people die. What about you, Kel? Did you find anybody that you could grab a hold of?
Interesting terminology there. I mean, so I'm kind of with you in that, nobody. So I think overall, probably the Red character I thought was the most, kind of interesting and fun to me. I think Kate was her name, was the kind of reddish, blondish-haired girl that was traumatized by it, and I didn't really have any time for her until she went down the ladder one time. They took a shot with her going down the ladder. All right, okay, Kate's all right. Some reason I decided, she's all right. I'm pulling for Kate. So, Kate, you're okay. But that was about it from there. But yeah, it was. I mean, and again, you're not going to get huge character development, but you usually get some quirky characters. You think about some of the ones in the past movies, you get some pretty amazing ones that you really keep pulling for to make it all the way to the end. And in this one, again. And I think there were things that Sci-Fi did here or Asylum did that were very intentional. We're going to only show 4 heads for a long time. We're going to we're gonna wire people up. And I hope they didn't do this, but again, it wasn't a white person. Was the first person that got killed again. The only, the only African American in the cast that I believe.
Yeah.
Again, first to go, and I just wonder sometimes if they do that to kind of tweak, because you saw the noise kind of pop up about that. You know, it's like, really, he's got to be there. There are plenty of other choices. At that point, I would have been fine with it being Kate, because this was pre-ladder Kate, so I could have had her go at that point in time. But no, it was like I said, overall it's good. It was fun. It was a fun watch. It did, you know, I did look down at about the hour 15 mark, going like, oh, there's 45 minutes left in this bad boy. But overall it went okay. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a nice movie.
It was, and the other thing that I found interesting was the lack of death. Not that, I mean, I'm like a death reaper. I want to see all this death, but I mean, let's face it, we really didn't see a lot. I mean, the main characters, usually it's only down to 1 or 2. We had what, 4, 5, something like 4 left, 5, because the police officer, the commissioner, was still alive. So you had about 5 people of the main cast were still alive at the end of the film, and then the death scenes. I think, to be honest, I think it killed more sea life than it did people. You know, the whale, the other shark, and then trick the shark into grabbing the food with the bomb in it, and then it exploded. I was like, that's a tricky little shark there.
Not cool. Not cool.
It was a dick move, yeah.
It was not totally not cool. But yeah, it was. I guess the first whale death we've seen is like, and you could totally tell, oh, get your cameras out, take the pictures. You're like, oh, this is not going to end well.
And just boom, this explosion of blood, and it's like, okay, there we go. But yeah, it was, it did what it was supposed to. I guess I kind of recall, because I think they actually did skip over 4-headed shark attack, right? Didn't they do like a 3? And then did 5, or did they do a 4 last year? I don't really remember.
I don't believe there's been a 4, because I think so. 2-headed shark attack, which our friend Christina Bach was in, was awesome, and then 3-headed shark attack had Danny Trejo in it.
Yeah,
and that was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't believe there was a 4-headed. I think they've gone to 5, and I don't think they can keep going up at this point in time.
So you start stacking on top of each other. You get like 8-headed shark attack. It's like this big tank.
It's gonna have to be something pretty crazy to make that work.
Let's see, anything else of interest. But yeah, I mean, I think as you said, when you go into a film like this, you know exactly what you're going to get. You know that you're going to have the beach stuff, and you're going to have people getting killed in creative ways. Usually, I mean, and then you have like plot lines that there's those people who were exploring the coral, and the woman's like, "Yeah, I'll be right back," and she's swimming away, and the shark just eats her and then swims away. It's like, well, there's more food down there. Why didn't you eat them? We didn't even find out what happened to them.
No, that's just it was just we needed a kill, and it was the whole, I'll be careful, I'm always careful, like, oh, you're dead. So
chomp.
Just shocker on that. But I did, and it was funny to watch on Twitter, because there were a bunch of folks jumping in when it was right after Red gave his Quint speech, that he went down to the end of the boat, and he's messing with the chum line and stuff like that, and he's turning and talking, and I totally expected him to get Samuel L. Jackson, and just boom. And on Twitter, you were seeing a bunch of people going like, he's dead, it's all over, he's gone. But he made it. So there you go.
You know what? I think that could be, speaking of Samuel L. Jackson and Deep Blue Sea, they've got the sequel. Sci-Fi is going to be doing that. They're filming it right now. I'm assuming they're going to save it for next year at this time. So that might be one of the ones that we'll be watching next year. So that could be an interesting take on things. I mean, they took the Lake Placid series and they ran with that. So why not do it with Deep Blue Sea? So that could be, and it's like a different, look at the sharks, because now you're starting to get to where, all right, so now what's the next shark we're going to do? And they've done pretty much everything. I'm sure there's probably ones out there that we couldn't even think of, but they, they pretty much hit the wall, right? I mean, is there any that you could maybe think on the top of your head that they might not have done yet, Kel?
Sharkaconda.
Okay, yes, let's start mixing them with people. There you go. That's a good idea. Sharkigator.
Sharkigator. Yeah, because I think you could do big ass shark spider. So,
and to get back,
actually, shark spider would be pretty good.
That would actually be pretty cool. I mean, but then there are ones that have been made that they haven't shown yet that might be good. Like there was like a demonic shark or something like that, and it's the cover is an exorcist trying to exorcise a demon that's in the shark, and that would be a fun one to watch. And I think a fun one that we could discuss, Cal, is there's the snow one where the sharks are in the snow on a ski hill.
Yeah, and everybody's gonna die because, as we've clearly established, there is no more dangerous place to hole up than a ski lodge.
I think you could have hot air balloons. Shark dropping down from the sky, flying overhead. Boom! There you go. I guess it'd be too Sharknado, I suppose.
Yeah, and then there was a Sharknado call out in this one early on from our kind of sassy. And her name was actually Dr. Yo. Was I?
Yeah,
did I miss?
That's what it was.
Like, wow.
I don't know if it was because she wasn't Asian, so it wouldn't be like it would be Dr. Yo, Y-E-O or something like that. It was just like Dr. Yo. Okay, you're not Asian, but okay, I suppose.
Yeah, and I apologize for not being as familiar that perhaps Yo is a common Puerto Rican name, but I'm skeptical. I'm thinking they just said this would be cool. Let's call her Dr. Yo, but we'll have to see on that. But yeah, no, it's fun. It's good. I think it was a good start to the week. It'll be. I'm gonna do my best. I may be joining tomorrow's movie a little bit late, particularly with these earlier start times. I'm gonna get tangled up in some stuff for a while.
It's horrible. I hate I mean, they started last year with the Sharknadoes. Now, the other ones were 9 o'clock last year, but the Sharknado was 8 o'clock, and I guess maybe they saw, oh, wow, look at all the ratings we got for that. Let's move everything to 8 o'clock now. And it doesn't really make a lot of sense, you know? Maybe it's because I'm biased because I like the 9 o'clock. I mean, it fits perfectly into my little world, I suppose. And you know what? It fits to you guys in the Central too. 8 o'clock is a lot better than 7, right? I mean,
yeah. 8 o'clock's perfect because you 2-hour movie, you're done at 10. If we do something like this, we're done by 11. So I'm good. So yeah, I'd much prefer an hour later start time, but that's not what we get. But we're getting these movies, which I'm glad because I enjoy them, and it's nice to get. I mean, there was a lot of the crew back tonight, which is very cool, and hopefully we can kind of keep that up. I know it gets during the week it gets tricky with people with work and different things going on, but we've got a shot Monday, Wednesday, and
Thursday,
and Saturday for sure, and then of course Sharknado on Sunday. And I have delayed watching Game of Thrones. So no spoilers, anyone. I'm going to shut my Twitter down here. That's my biggest fear going through there. But I didn't figure there'd be a big five-headed shark attack Game of Thrones crossover. So I figured I wasn't going to get any spoilers in there. But there was one person out there where I guess there was a bit of a domestic dispute going on because her boyfriend was like, no, we're going to shut this off and go to Game of Thrones. And she's like, no, we're going to watch Five-Headed Shark Attack. And so I don't know how that turned out, but she was tweeting pretty deep into the movie, so it sounds like she won.
As they usually do, right?
Yes. And there's another showing, so he can just relax and he can wait like I'm waiting.
And that was the one problem also was with the Sunday start because I could have sworn they said Saturday was going to be the beginning, yesterday was going to be the beginning of it. With the Sunday start, you got the Game of Thrones people, so we lost MJ and T. Scott Braveboy and a few other people at 9 o'clock when Game of Thrones came on. So they were on for an hour, which was nice to see. But then they're like, okay, Game of Thrones time. And well, I understand. That's fine. I'm missing Twin Peaks, but with me, I don't have Showtime. I get it through the Amazon app. They have the Amazon Video, and I subscribe to the Showtime one. So I can watch it really anytime I want now. So that's the thing. So I'm sort of in a similar boat you are with Game of Thrones. So I'll tell you what, I don't want to keep you away from your Game of Thrones now, Kel. So I think we've hit everything. I mean, there's not, as I said, these videos are going to be very short. There's not much really you can say about them, right? But it's just something fun that we like to do to try to reach out and get people to interact and get stuff, get in here again. And yeah, it's going to be tough the next couple of days, but I really think Trailer Park Sharks of all of them, with the exception of maybe Sharknado, obviously, we're probably going to get maybe the best response from. So here's hoping that that's the case. So I think that's it. Anything else, Kel?
No, I don't have anything else.
Okay, sounds good. So about a half an hour. That was about how long it was. That's what. That's a nice little.
All right.
Yeah, nice little bit here there. So tomorrow, join me. Dylan knows. We'll be talking Mississippi River Sharks. I may or may not have a guest depending on who I see tweeting. And if I say, hey, you want to come on the show? If they say no, my show will probably be half this one. It'll probably be 15 minutes and I'll be like, done, out of here. Thank you, Kel. It was a lot of fun hanging with you again. And hopefully we'll be able to do it again maybe next Sunday. We'll keep an eye on stuff. All right.
Sounds great.
All right. Bye, guys. Have fun and watch Mississippi River Sharks tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Sci-Fi, 7 o'clock Central. And we are done.